Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to see shocking news about Trump and his BRICS challenge. Elon Musk's personal number. These are quick ways to reach people. So what is the purpose of his speech? These BRICS nations have come up with a new idea to leave the dollar. We have been watching this for so many days, but we will not watch it anymore. That time is over. Secondly, we are going to issue a challenge to all these BRICS nations. If you change the dollar, you should not introduce another currency. Similarly, even if you bring another currency, you should not back it up. If BRICS does not abolish this order, I will impose a 100% tax on them. We are selling a product for 10 rupees in the US. If they increase it by 1 rupee, they will increase it by 2 rupees as a bonus. If you take this action and give 100% as a bonus, you will be able to sell your products in a strong economy like America. Say goodbye and forget it. Go to another country and do whatever you want. The puppet will not be controlled by America. Similarly, BRICS currency is challenging the mighty US dollar. There's no chance of a change to replace it. As long as the world exists, the world's prosperity will only happen through the US dollar. This is what is stated in the video. Now, his position will always be in a state of uncertainty. We have seen the warning given by the BRICS nations. If we compare the 3 major countries, Russia, India, and China, Russia has a direct rivalry with India. China and India are engaged in a Cold War. India is the only country that is friendly to the US. But if you look at BRICS' total wealth, they own 37% of the world's economy. BRICS is the core of this economic shift. After that, Tier 1 nations come in. In the next stage, there are 27 countries in the queue. Then there is the membership stage, where countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh are also waiting to join. This is becoming a powerful economic force. The idea of BRICS was born in the US. This was not created by us. The idea of BRICS was spread by the US. Singapore's Prime Minister initially brought the BRICS concept. Now, if we want to know if this warning can be enforced, this is where Trump has a problem. BRICS countries hold 35% of global economic power. The so-called developed nations like G7 hold only 30%. If you take America and G7, America has the biggest economy. If you take BRICS, China is directly warning Trump. This is the first point. Second, within BRICS, how many people are actually supporting this currency? In the BRICS capital, only the strategic minds are pushing for this change. A model of the BRICS currency has been shown, and we had a detailed video on this topic. In this situation, Putin is proposing an increase in BRICS currency use. Russia can still trade with the dollar, but they are now managing with the ruble. This is what they need. China, however, is pushing for an alternate currency. China is advocating for a BRICS currency backed by the Chinese yuan. They suggest trading in yuan first and then bringing in the BRICS currency later. India did not agree to this. India has not provided full support for the BRICS currency. India believes that whoever wants to trade in any currency should have full freedom to do so. There should not be a restriction that forces trade only in dollars. For example, when India trades, it buys US dollars from the market, and local investors convert it to USD. They pay 2 to 3 rupees more for the conversion. Instead, India proposes trading in rupees with Sri Lanka because of strong regional investments. India, Bangladesh, UAE, all these countries could trade freely without dollar restrictions. So BRICS nations are not entirely united in creating a single currency. Russia is pushing for it, while India is advocating digital payments. India's UPI is already operating in nearly 12 countries. Foreigners can use UPI without converting money to Indian rupees physically. India supports free currency trade, but does not oppose the dollar entirely. Everyone in BRICS has the same objective, but the approach is different. India cannot directly attack America. However, if Trump takes aggressive action, the US could still influence the situation. Now, this is where America's problem begins. If funds are allocated to China, where else can they be sourced? They could come from Taiwan, Vietnam, or mainly from India. If America invests in China and India, who will provide the counterbalance? If you go to a country like Belgium, you may pay $35 extra. If you go to Norway, you may pay $1 more. European and neighboring nations cannot fully meet US demands. So if you impose a 100% tariff, companies, whether Chinese or otherwise, will collect the extra cost by raising prices. The cost of goods in America will rise. The US is highly dependent on China's exports, particularly in the supply chain. Without a China plus one strategy, India remains crucial. Trump is essentially saying that if anyone goes against the dollar, he will retaliate. His speech includes strong words, even threats. His usual approach is to intimidate opponents first and then negotiate. With the BRICS announcement, the dollar is rising quickly, while other currencies like the rupee and yuan are crashing. This has shocked many in the stock market. The real question is, what leverage does Trump have? If BRICS does not adopt a new currency, what concessions will America offer? Whether it's GE 414 engines, military deals, or other economic arrangements, this is a critical moment for negotiation. India has time. The BRICS currency is not happening immediately. The most crucial focus for India is energy security, fuel needs, and military partnerships. One opportunity is for India to resume buying oil from Iran. As for China, this will have consequences. The G7 is still influential, but without America, the G7 is nothing. Similarly, if China is removed from BRICS, BRICS becomes weak. If India exits, BRICS turns into a Russian alliance. However, internal BRICS members argue that a full collapse is unlikely. If tariffs increase, goods will become more expensive. A product that was once 10 rupees might now cost 11 or 12 rupees due to rising costs. This will impact the American economy. Trump's economic philosophy is reminiscent of 18th century America, when income tax did not exist. In those times, the government survived on tariffs and interest rates. Today, however, America's economy is too large for such a simplistic approach. Economists debate how much impact this policy will have. No one can predict the exact consequences. However, one thing is clear: the BRICS versus Trump battle is just beginning. China is pushing its economic agenda, while G7 nations are closely monitoring the situation. If Trump extends tariffs to Mexico and Canada, America will face even bigger trade issues. Climate change is already affecting agriculture, and the US does not have the luxury of self-sufficiency. The global financial game is shifting. The US wants to keep the dollar powerful, but can it maintain dominance forever? The fall of the dollar may not happen overnight, but the rumbling has begun. This trend has been discussed for years. Even Indira Gandhi spoke about it in the past. But America will not give up easily. At the same time, the opposition is growing stronger. A new era of currency competition has begun. Over the next 15 years, we will witness economic shifts unlike anything seen in the last 500 years. This is the reality. Thank you.